Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to City Skylines Mass Transit. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back playing a little bit more of City Skylines Mass Transit here on the channel. Today is going to be part 4 of our Mass Transit Let's Play, and things are going pretty well in the city of Nerdshire. We have some pretty serious demand for residential zoning though, and that is something I would like to deal with as soon as possible because we are getting very close to being a big town of 6,500 people, at which point we will unlock a new area and the blimp as well. So we're going to come over this way a little bit, and we're going to see what exactly we can do in terms of getting that population to rise just a little bit. I'm actually going to... I want to have a look and see what this road looks like with bus lanes. Ooh. I mean, that's right there is basically going to act in exactly the same way that those roads usually act when they have got 4 lanes. So I'm just going to stick with this because I only want the 2 lanes there. And what I'm also going to do is extend it this way a little bit so we can get a few more roads back there as well. So we'll extend it this way right up to about there. And we'll go right up to the corner as well. And we could throw some roads across like this too. We'll bring one down from there just to fill up the space a little bit differently. And I think we'll just sort of repeat that same process just down here as well. So something like that. Something like... oh, not quite like that. Something a bit like that. And then a road that maybe comes off of there a little bit. I think that looks okay. Let's go ahead and get the pipes underneath those roads that we're absolutely going to be needing. So we'll get them going the whole way around there, just like so. And we will go ahead and fill a lot of this area up with some residential zoning. And we'll see how exactly that goes. I definitely want to try and get to 6,500 people. I want to get the blimp. I want to start having some fun with public transport. And I'm also going to go ahead and start bulldozing some of the areas over here. I know I just bulldozed a lot of stuff that didn't need bulldozed, but honestly, it was quicker than going through and individually bulldozing everything, so we'll not worry too much about that. I think what I'd also like to try and do today, though, is extend up this way a little bit. I want to find a way to bring the highway to an end up here and then start using things like the 6-lane avenue and all that kind of stuff. Because I figure that would probably be a pretty good idea to see if we can actually get that avenue some use and also actually get rid of the highway, because as I've said before, this area sort of around here, maybe up to like there, is going to be the bulk of our city. So we don't really need a highway that goes the whole way through because it's not going anywhere. Up here is going to be suburbs, maybe touristy stuff, I don't know. But I just like the idea of having the highway come to an end somewhere, rather than trying to find a way to just make it work and make it go the whole way through. So we'll see what happens with regards to that. And a little bit of commercial demand is popping up there. So what I think I'll do is get rid of that guy, and we'll bring some commercial zoning down this avenue here. I do like doing that. I like keeping my commercial zoning on bigger roads, although, I mean, this one isn't necessarily, it is a bigger road, but it's still only got 2 lanes. It just means that eventually we can upgrade that road into something that'll handle more traffic and handle a lot of commercial traffic at that. So that's the plan. Anyway, we'll see how exactly that goes. Man, this music though. I'm still on it. I'm still going on about the music. I know not everybody's interested, but I love me some upbeat classical music, all right? Especially in City Builders. It just reminds me so much of like Sim City. It's so good. Let's extend some residential zoning down here as well. Just across Meadow Street there. What's this little road called here? I suppose that's Eliza Street? Yeah, that whole thing is Eliza Street. Then there's Kathleen Lee Street, and there's Lee Street. We've got Wilson Street, Walnut Street, Briarwood Street. Oh, I love the street names so much. I really do. It's such a nice little feature. Anyway, let's throw a bit more residential zoning into here as well. And really, this whole space over here is going to be full of residential zoning, but I think I want to try and make a change here. I want to try and turn this whole road into an avenue. I don't think I've got any buildings on it either, so let's give this a shot. Let me just pause for a moment while I do this. I'm going to go with a 4-lane avenue with trees on it. So we'll do that kind of thing. And we're just going to extend the whole way through here, like so, because that's going to let traffic move through the city a little bit. I'd like to extend this way as well, right up to the end. And that just, it divides things in a good way. It divides things up a little bit, and that's absolutely what I want to do. Probably going to have to move the high schools for a second, because I want to, I'm going to throw them up. Oh, is that an elementary school? That is an elementary school. Okay. Going to move the elementary schools for a second, because I want to upgrade these roads as well. Just all the way across here. This is something I probably should have done from the get-go, you know, getting some proper avenues in here, but we'll not worry too much about it. Let's go ahead and get the elementary schools back where they belong with a bus stop in front of them. And we can go ahead and just get the pathways back around them, I think. So just like that, and just like that as well. So what that should do is make it a little bit easier in the future to upgrade things a little bit in terms of getting traffic through the city. So let's just fix the zoning that we ever so slightly messed up around here. So we'll fix up to there, and we'll fix up to there. Then I want to get some commercial into that spot. And we'll do the same down here as well with the zoning that I messed up. So fix up all of that and fix up all of that. Now that's, yeah, that has brought our population down considerably. Oh, I've disconnected power across the city. Oh boy, that was not a good thing. I can actually get a little permanent power connection here though. Like if I run from there to there and just leave that there, that'll give us a nice permanent connection across the entire thing. So that's going to be kind of useful. Like I said, population is way down, but it should recover relatively quickly because we do have a lot of space for residential zoning, and there is pretty good demand for residential zoning across the board as well. So here's hoping we see some good stuff. I'm also thinking it might be an idea to maybe go ahead and upgrade all of the roads that come off of the highways into, I mean, in this case, at least, you know, 4 lanes might be an idea. Just to help the traffic move a little bit, although I'm thinking 6. I think we'll go for the 6 lanes because it really does just help the traffic to move around. So we'll do the same up here as well. Just like so. And that, yeah, that should help the traffic to move around just a teeny tiny little bit. Now we're currently sitting on $178,000. I want to do something with that. I want to start planning out a bit of an industrial zone over by the water here. Because I think that's, I've mentioned already, that's kind of where I want to put an industrial zone. So I want to figure out a way to, well, do that. So let's start getting some roads over here and let's see what exactly, well, do I want to do this? Because we don't actually have the zone over here yet. It's going to be a little bit tricky because this area here would be perfect for it. Maybe we'll wait for a moment and we'll see what happens. We'll give it a moment. We'll get the population back up, hopefully to 6,500. We'll buy this tile and then we'll work on the industrial zone. And there we go. We're big time. We have a new tile. We have blimps. We have metro. Let's put some of this $328,000 to use, shall we? So I want to buy this tile here because I want to start working on this industrial area that I've been talking about. And I was thinking that we could probably go ahead and bring a bit off of the highway over here that'll go straight to this industrial area. So we might still have some uses for highway space around here, despite me saying that I didn't think we would. So there you go, I guess. Let's actually go ahead and do some highway stuff over here. Let's start with the highway and we'll go from there. So we'll go in like this. We'll go like, you know, 30 units in, whatever. And I should be able to, if I turn the road guidelines back on, I should be able to get this to line up really nicely, just like that. And that is going to go out and over to like there. So that's going to connect right around, maybe over there somewhere. And that's going to be a connection to the city, basically. What I'd like to do here is go 10 units and down. And then up to there. And that's going to be the connection to this industrial area. We might have some on and off ramps back here a little bit, but for the most part, this will be the connection. I'm also going to extend this just a bit more so that we have plenty of room to work with. And I like the idea of this. I like the idea of putting the industrial area over here, especially with this little bit here, like this just weird little bit of land. Because what I can do with that is I could go ahead and put the sewage outflow pipes like in there. So something a little bit like that, basically, where they're sort of all facing outwards. I think that'll work. I think that'll be a really good place for those outflow pipes. So we'll connect those up like that. We can run the pipe over to the city. And I know they don't have power yet. They will eventually. Don't worry too much about that. But for the meantime, let me go ahead and figure out how we're going to connect this all up. So I want to go 10 that way and 10 that way. And then I'll turn those into highway sections. And that'll be fine. Then what we'll do is go for, I think some avenue stuff might be an idea here. So we'll do something like that. Like that. We'll go over. Actually, we'll just go up like this and do that. That does connect together quite nicely. And I can't do that, but I can probably go... Oh, I can't do that. Okay, let me just bulldoze some sections of highway here for a second so we can actually make this work. And there we go. So we're going to have that kind of central loop of stuff going on there. We could, if we wanted to, turn that into a one-way system, which I might actually do. Because I do love me a good one-way system, and it might work really well here too. So if we were to turn this all into a series of one-way roads, we could absolutely have some interesting stuff going on there. So we're going to have, you know, 3 lanes that turn onto the highway, a bunch that keep going that way. So that absolutely might work as an industrial zone. We'll see how exactly that goes. But then what I want to do from each corner is come out with an avenue like this. We'll go 20 units that way. We'll go 20 units that way. We'll go 30 at the bottom here. And 30 at the bottom there. And that really should let a lot of fairly heavy industrial traffic into the area. I do also want to make sure that we end up getting... We don't have trains yet. We need a population of 9,000 to get that. But I want to make sure that eventually we do get space for cargo trains in here. And I'm wondering if I could maybe fit a cargo train station in there. Because if I can't, what I can do then is move the highways back a little bit. Which I would not be against doing at all. In fact, you can clearly see I'm going ahead and doing it immediately. So we'll bring these roads to there and there. That won't let me go down like that, unfortunately. So I have to bring them forward and down there. Then this one is going to have to go to that point and down to there. And I'm pretty sure the space that we're being left in here is absolutely gonna be enough for a cargo train station. Which will be very important for the city, of course. We're gonna need to get some cargo train stations in here and in the main city itself. That doesn't seem to mess with the zoning of that area too badly either, so there we go. Absolutely perfect. Let's rotate you. And... oh wait, that needs rotated that way. There we go. So that should absolutely let traffic in and out without too much hassle. I don't really know what way I'm gonna connect the rest of this. I know the area looks really strange at the moment. But, yeah, I think it'll work. Let me just redo that road so it's got the proper length to it there. Yeah, I reckon this will work. Let's go ahead and get some of the asymmetrical roads in here as well, since we haven't played around with those too much. So we could bring them sort of down like this, I guess. It might be an idea. I don't know. I don't know where the asymmetrical roads would need to go. Maybe we'll just play with some regular roads for the time being. I still haven't found a really, really good use for the asymmetrical roads yet. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I just haven't got it yet. Let's see here. So let me go to that point and there. Let me go to that point and there. I'm going to try and keep this relatively symmetrical for the time being. Again, until I, actually get it working, I'm not going to know if it actually works, but wait, that sentence was really redundant. Until I get it working, I won't know if it works. Well, duh. It's kind of how these things, work. But we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. I think that'll be a nice start for the area. That'll definitely be a nice start for the industrial space. I don't really know how I'm going to connect it to the highway, though. I think I'm just going to have to use, like, this junction, which is a little bit too big, if we're being honest. But I think it'll have to do. So let's tear out some of Sabrina Highway, and let's get that junction in there. Maybe we'll come back to that point and see if the junction connects. Does it? Not really. We could absolutely connect it down there. That's definitely a thing we could do. I don't really want to bulldoze too much of this highway, though, because it could go horrendously wrong if I do. So bring that up to there. Bring that up to there. And can I connect this? No. It's been really strange. Alright. That works, though. So that's now connected, which is all I really wanted. I want to turn that bit around and connect you. Oh, that does not connect in a straight line, though. That's really odd. Can I get you to go like that? That looks a bit better. Okay. So then this obviously needs to be connected as well. Man, I'm spending so much money on highways here. This is not going to end well for me, is it? I'm going to end up spending way too much on highways. But it does mean that we will have some very straight lines for the highways, which I'm actually quite keen for. So let's just spend some cash, I guess. So that can come in a little bit further to like there. That's going to extend to like there. And so is this one. I think that's the right distance. Pretty sure those are in line. This one's going to do the same thing. We're going to bring it forward to about that point. Then all I need to do here is line them up. So line that up and line that up. And there we go. That actually worked a lot better than I thought it would. I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of impressed that I managed to get that to work. So there we go. Let's turn this road around here. And that highway is going to work. Now, obviously, this bit of highway is going, like, right to the edge of the city, but I think we're just going to have to deal with that, to be honest. I don't really think there's going to be much I can do about that. Which is a bit of a pain, really, but yeah, there's there's not a lot I can do about that. All right, let's see what we can do with the stretch road. It's going right to the edge of the city. Good lord. All right, this is going to be interesting. We'll bring that forward, and we'll bring that to there. And I should be able to get this to line up. I think that's roughly where I need to be. Yeah. All right. Progress is being made. It's slow progress, but it's progress. Let's bring these roads over this way a little bit too. This music is perfect for my just faffing about here. It really is. So bring these roads to there and there. Then bring them down. And then up like that. And then all I should need to do here is bring this road straight through to like that point. And that one straight through to like that point. That goes over a hill in a very weird way, but we'll not worry about that. So this should just work, I think. I need that road connection though. That's roughly where I need to be. There we go. Alright. That looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculous, let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush here. Looks ridiculous, but we'll leave it. I'm going to take that highway under the little hill, though. I don't think this one needs to go under it, but I think this one does. Just because I think it's going to look nice, really. So, we'll extend it a little bit. Then we'll go like that. Then bring it back. Bring this to like that point and bring it up. I mean, it looks all right, I guess. It looks all right. We do have some pretty good industrial demand going here as well. So let's go ahead and connect all of this up with some electricity. Just as a bit of a temporary means, we'll just run a pylon straight to there. And why are you guys going there? What are you doing? Okay, that's just a bit odd, really. But let's get some industrial zoning out here. Let's begin with the new industrial zone that I'm very excited about. Quite keen to see this thing working. I'm also somewhat aware of the fact that these guys were briefly working despite not actually having any electricity. I'm tempted to just throw a wind turbine there to get those things working, because it means I can move these ones, which I do want to do. And I can also get rid of that wind turbine as well. So let's do that. Let's get rid of you. These guys over here are not doing their thing. We do obviously need to get some water pipes over here too. So let's start doing that. We'll just run them around like this, and that should be absolutely fine right there. Connect it up like so, and we have some industrial buildings in a new industrial area. Now, I don't know how useful those buildings are going to be for the city because they're so far away. But I'm hopeful. I'm definitely hopeful. I'm also thinking I might throw a landfill site over here. So there and there for a couple of landfill sites. And then what we'll do is empty these two. And we can start moving the landfill stuff over to this industrial zone. And eventually, obviously, the incineration plants will be over here. But I think that's going to be good. I really do think that's going to be a good spot for some industry. And I mean, all the traffic's going. I do imagine traffic going into the city is about to get very, very busy. Because, well, actually, a lot of the garbage trucks are filtering through the highway, so we might be okay here. We might also see a lot of the traffic come out of the city, which I think is very important, but we'll see. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have a bit of fun before we wrap things up for the day, because we were going for the blimp. We wanted to unlock the blimp, and we did. But I want to set up a way for people to get to this new industrial zone via blimp, because I think that'd be funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's, it's not exactly a normal way to get about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the blimp depot over here, I guess. I'll put it here. So blimp depot there, then the stop for the blimp stop. Is that what it's called? Blimp stop, yeah, okay. Didn't think it would actually be called blimp stop, because that's kind of a funny phrase, but there you go. We'll put the blimp stop just there, and I want one there as well. And I want to build around that with some pathways, just so we're not building around this. So put some pathways. Did we get that? We did get the high density stuff. I should start doing that, shouldn't I? I really should. But I want a blimp stop there. We've got one there. And that'll do for the time being. Let's go ahead and run some, what way does traffic go into this? I've totally forgotten what the direction is. I think it's from there. So we'll go like this. And this is how the blimps work, by the way. Again, you've probably seen it by this point, but I do want to just give you that kind of overview regardless. So I think you sort of head out that way. Then I want to connect this down like that. Then I'm going to freeform this sort of over to there. All right. Then this can sort of run over this way. It can go out a little bit, then curve it around and into the blimp stop. So that right there is going to be a loop for the blimps to take. And this, I'm going to connect it to, going to connect this to it as well, so the blimps can actually get there. But what I want to do is set a line that goes from there to there. So like that. And then back. Now for some reason the blimps are choosing to go back and forth in the same bit of line. I guess that's okay. And what that should do though is give us, yeah, there we go, some blimps. So people can now get to and from this industrial zone via blimp. Because that's how you get to work in this city. Is anyone actually using it? I really doubt it. I really doubt we're going to see anyone use the blimps here. But I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. And we're going to see. Because it's pretty cool having blimps, you know, go overhead. There's a couple of people. There's a couple of people that are interested. Okay. We might see this pick up the pace a little bit. I doubt it, personally, but we might. You never know. Let's go ahead and get more industrial zoning just across there so we can maybe bridge the gap with electricity over towards the Blimp depot. And what we'll also do is go ahead and throw in some of our first high-density zoning with some commercial along the highway there. And I think I want to bring the whole way up to there. So get rid of that a little bit too. And throw that all in there. So we should see some pretty good stuff pop up from that. I'm also going to just make some changes along the avenues here so that we get a little bit more going. And I'm going to do the same with residential zoning. So residential is going to become high density along the highways as well. And that's going to be the first bits of high density zoning that we have here in the city. And that's kind of exciting for me. I'm kind of keen to get this going. So we'll make that all high density. This road down here is fine as is. This one up here is fine as well. It's just this strip through the middle that I want to play with a little bit. Because I want to see how that goes. Still not really anyone using the blimps. That's... Oh, never mind. Shut my mouth. We have got people using it. Okay. I mean, it's a bit of an unorthodox method to get around, but I'll take it. I'm also going to go to policies for a second because I want to say that we have educational blimps, and I want to see what the change is. So Go Nuts Donuts becomes... Ah, there we go. Eat broccoli. All right. What's high ticket prices? So that is... Oh, wow. Less passengers, but more people, but more money. Okay. Citizens prefer ferries for moving in the city. Okay. I think we'll just leave that as is for now. Educational blimps definitely seems like a fairly useful thing. It is also nice seeing people actually using it to get around. That's surprising, if anything. Really didn't expect that to be the case, but there you go. Let's get some more industrial zoning into there. In fact, you know what? Let's just fill up the whole thing with industrial zoning. It's going to take a little while for it to actually fill up, but I'm not too worried about that. I can wait. I can be patient, and I'm curious to see how the traffic is actually gonna manage that, because traffic's very, very slow along this road. I think this road, honestly, is going to need to be upgraded to at least have 4 lanes on it. So let's give that a shot. Just like so. This side's not so busy, but this side is very, very busy indeed. So we'll see how exactly it goes. Some of the traffic does just want to go straight across. Some of it does want to turn, which is totally fine. I really wish this left lane was being used properly as a turning lane, because it currently isn't, but yeah, that's to be expected, honestly. A lot of that traffic's garbage trucks as well that are coming from here, because they're unloading the garbage from the landfills. So we're gonna have some garbage problems for a little while, but we'll be okay. Next landmark is gonna be milestone rather. Small city, 9,000 people. We get the monorail tracks. Quite excited about that. We get trains and monorails and cable cars. Cable cars would actually be a better bet for this than the blimps, I think. But we'll not worry too much. The plan here is going to be to bring some freight trains through here. So I realize these landfill sites are not in good places. They are really, really not in good places unless I get rid of this little stretch of road here, and that's where the trains could go. We'll see. We might have to move the planned train line, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have garbage problems across the city until these landfills are empty, but I think we'll be able to manage it. Tell you what we'll do, actually. We'll just turn these off for a little while, so that the garbage trucks will go back to servicing the city. We'll get rid of the complaints that we have, then we'll go back to emptying these things. We'll tell them to stop emptying them for a while. We'll go back to emptying those things at some point once the city is a little bit happier. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you kindly for watching. This has been City Skylines Mass Transit Part 4. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!